The UK's Competition and Markets Authority giving the green light to Microsoft's proposed $69 billion takeover of Activision Blizzard. It is the last and final hurdle to the deal closing, and it comes close to 2 years after Microsoft's first proposed buying that gaming giant. Joining us on set live here, I said the soap opera has been going on. This is the finale. Bobby Kotick is here, the CEO of Activision Blizzard. We should say congratulations because we've been talking about this for quite some time with you a number of times at this table before.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a little hard to celebrate anything right now, given all the events in the Middle East, but especially in our business where our responsibility is to bring joy and fun to people around the world.
This has been 22 months in the making, maybe more now. I just wanted to take back to the beginning. If you had known that this is what was going to happen, would have you done it?
Well, we were concerned about what the regulatory climate would be, but we never thought that there was any, real reason that was legitimate why these two companies couldn't combine. There's so many competitors that are bigger, more successful, with more advantages. And so I think we ultimately always believed that just on the merits of the transaction that it would get through.
But given just two things, actually, how strong your business has remained and the length of time of this whole process and all the commotion, frankly, even before you did this deal, which I think had actually hit the stock about what was happening inside the company, do you ever go back to yourself and say, you know what, maybe we should have stuck it out and just kept doing this ourselves?
No, I think there were a lot of great reasons. I mean, we weren't looking to sell the company, but as we started to see how difficult it was going to be to find the type of specialized talent in AI and machine learning, realizing that we're competing against big companies like ByteDance and Tencent and Sony, Nintendo. As once Satya and Phil had made the phone call and we started to really think about how much of an advantage it would be to be a part of Microsoft, I don't think after that we've ever thought that it was anything other than a good idea.
For all the CEOs who are watching you now, what is the lesson of the last 22 months? For not just for you personally, and you think for everybody else? Because a lot of people are wondering, should I pull the trigger on a deal? And am I going to go and have the same, even if I have the same fate, meaning I ultimately get to the finish line, is it worth it?
So I would say, one of the things that I over the last 20-some-odd months that I've seen is Microsoft, with Satya Nadella and Brad Smith, they have created a company that really is about partnership. And a lot of people say that, but they've operationalized it at scale. And so having that skill and ability to be able to understand whether it's a regulator or labor or a workforce or a corporate partner, really being able to embrace the idea of partnership and actually being able to listen and understand and figure out how to conciliate and mediate, they do better than any company I've ever seen.
What's it going to mean with this new combination? You talked about AI and how that works into gaming. And I've even heard you talk about maybe the Neuralink situation, which I find baffling, the idea that people are going to control the video games in their head with the Neuralink. I think that's a long way off. But talk about what you do see for the future.
Yeah, I think it's a long way off. But I think, look, we have roughly 350 million customers today. There are billions and billions more people who we would love to see play our games. I think one of the benefits of this combination is that we can take games that have been in the library for the last 30 years and actually remake them. I think AI is going to make games more accessible. I think it's going to make the creation of things like art and animation better. I think on phones in particular that have these AI processors, you're going to see richer, deeper experiences, so that'll broaden the audience more.
I have one more regulatory question that I want to actually...
Real quickly, the deal is official, Microsoft is saying right now.
Microsoft's saying the deal is official, so it's
closed. You heard it here first.
The checks are going to clear probably right now. I just want to read you this, though, because this is what the CMA said today. So they approved the deal, which, by the way, is something they rarely do after rejecting a deal because you're effectively coming back to the same people. But this is what they did say. They said businesses and their advisors should be in no doubt that the tactics employed by Microsoft are no way to engage with the CMA. Microsoft had the chance to restructure during our initial investigation, but instead continued to insist on a package of measures that we told them simply wouldn't work. Dragging out proceedings in this way only wastes time and money. just curious what your reaction is. You've been living inside the bubble of this the entire time.
You know what I would say is, had we been able to better understand what the right structural remedies would have been, we might have been able to propose them sooner, but it was a learning process, and they were very thoughtful and they were very deliberate, and I think there's a legitimate reason. The UK is a really important country when it comes to gaming. It's a unique place. You have extraordinary high-quality K-12 education. You have creative talent. You have technical talent. You have, the home of European AI. You have companies like Sinclair, the BBC that pioneered computers. So you could understand why they were really careful and cautious about what the future of gaming and competition would be in their market. And I have to say, I was incredibly impressed every step of the way. They were thoughtful, they were deliberate, and could we have done some things differently? Possibly, but we got to a good result.
Did the concessions make it a less competitive company?
No, look, they've given up a lot, but I think it will encourage competition. And this gets back to the willingness of Microsoft to engage and listen and respond appropriately to the concerns of government. And I think they did that in the EU, and I think they did that in the UK. And back to your original question, not many companies really have the patience and the resolve and the willingness to actually do the things that are in the best interest of both government and a company.